Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Toilets to Titles. It is Friday night, and we have another NFL free agency update episode for you that we've been working on this document all day long. I've got my co-host, my wingman with me, Dennis. How are you, my friend? Otherwise known as at DNow_T2T. How are you, my friend?
Pretty good. I mean, there's some surprising re-signings, surprising moves today, so
Yeah,
shook things up
typical
a little bit.
typical free agency day, I'd say, huh?
Yeah,
Yep. All right, man. Yeah, so let's get through it. So it's been a busy week, man. This has been a really exciting free agency year. A lot of crazy moves. I'm glad to see me myself. I was happy to see that a lot of the contracts this year seemed reasonable. And I know I said that last night, but it's something that's still on me for whatever reason. I'm just grateful. It's like you don't see these crazy wide receiver contracts, especially the wide receivers, and really every other position. And the running back, the running back market basically cratering in terms of dollar value.
yeah.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. So it's like pennies on the dollar for those poor running backs. But all right, guys. So let's get through the bells and whistles. Just a reminder: we've had episodes every single night this week, starting Sunday up to tonight. We may have an episode tomorrow night. We're going to see how it goes in terms of any big news left to break. We do have some names that are still out there. OBJ, as of this show right now, has not signed with anyone. DeAndre Hopkins, not a free agent, but still, he's probably going to be traded at some point. So if something like that breaks, we'll probably do another episode tomorrow. We're going to play it by ear. We're going to leave it up to our CEO, Coach Chefs, to see what we're going to do. But so we'll see what goes on tomorrow night or Sunday night. So, but anyway, it's been a great ride. We've been covering every single move in free agency, and it's been great. If you haven't been following on Twitter in terms of or ESPN or any other programs, you don't have to. You can come to Toilets and Titles 8 p.m. because we got you covered. We got it all covered. And let me get the bells and whistles out of the way real quick. Please hit that like and subscribe button. Give us that 5-star Apple review because Dennis demands it. Otherwise, I wouldn't even ask.
Yep.
Where you can find the show: Apple Podcast, YouTube, Facebook, Podbean, and Spotify. Our beautiful, wonderful website, toiletstotitles.com, has all of our videos and articles, has all of our content. Check it out. We cover everything to do with football. It's fantasy football, which is our bread and butter, NFL, draft content. Hang on one second. My dog Melvin. All right, had to call in the emergency reinforcements. The wife is coming down to take care of Melvin. So we cover everything to do with football, fantasy, NFL, draft content. We are pumping out tons and tons and tons of draft profiles. Dennis and I and a few others have been working on these round the clock pretty much for the past like 2 months now. So check it out. We got new as a matter of fact, we're gonna have at least 3 new draft profiles out tonight by Coach Sheps alone. That after we're done with this episode, I'll be reviewing those and posting those. So check them out. NCAA football is pretty much being covered by our new sister network, the CFB Nation. If you can find them on Twitter at the CFB Nation, they pretty much handle most of the college content now. Once those players graduate, they come to us, Toilets and Titles. And almost last but not least, patreon.com/toilets and titles. If you go there, you can learn how you can further support the show. I want to say thank you very much to our current Patreon supporters. Again, we appreciate you appreciating us. And it's nice to be loved, Dennis. It's nice to be loved.
It is.
It is. And Gilded, this is last but not least. Gilded is where we have our Toilets and Titles chat. If you are a subscriber and if you'd like to come in and chat with us, we always have a lot of fun in there. And just reach out to us about joining our private chat on Gilded. And especially, I mean, listen, we have a lot of fun. There's a lot of people on there, especially obviously everyone from Toilets and Titles, but plenty of subscribers as well. We have a lot of fun. We're always talking football, just bouncing ideas around, and especially during the NFL season. If you have any questions pertaining to fantasy football, you can put your questions in there and you'll get plenty of responses. All right, so on to the player moves. And before, let's just check out the chat real quick. That's right, boys are back in town. We are. And Toilets to Titles asks Dennis, when is the first domino going to fall between Hopkins, OBJ, Cooks, and the Broncos wide receivers? Hmm.
I think I don't think anything happens until draft, personally.
That would be interesting. That would be it. And you know what? It doesn't even have to either.
Yeah.
And I love this question actually. I thought OBJ would be signed already. I mean, heck, that could happen anytime. It really could, but I guess he's not really in a rush anyway.
Right.
And but I still think he's going to be. Do you think that he's going to be the highest paid free agent wide receiver this year, even if it's just like a 1 year
Um,
deal, just for a
I
1 year,
do.
not like
I I
I think so too.
just because if he's back to Odell, he's a game changer. I think
Hmm.
more than anybody else that was on the market. So
Totally. I agree. I think so too. I think he's going to wind up being the highest paid. Yeah, what's going to happen with Cooks? I haven't really monitored Cooks too much. Um, the Broncos wide receivers, that's interesting. That's interesting. But apparently the Broncos are asking for a haul, even if they really are going to trade these guys. And Rich is
yeah,
checking in. He says, "What's up, fellas? What's up, Rich Gonzalez, otherwise known as Frito Bandito? Take care of Melvin. We are. His mom is taking care of him right now. So." And OBJ will have to take a low offer. I don't think so, Rich. I don't think so.
no,
Even
he's not going to sign
even
unless he gets what he wants.
yeah, I think Rich. I think it's going to be even if it's just a 1 year. I would say it's going to be at least 12 million, which is I think what what's his name, the wide receiver who went from the Patriots to the Raiders,
Oh, Jacoby Meyer.
Jacoby Myers. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's going to be the. I would say that's going to be the minimum. And maybe it's a 1 year deal, but I think he probably winds up some sort of 2 year deal, like 1 year guaranteed, and then maybe if we reach a certain benchmarks, then the second year automatically kicks in or something like that. But I bet he's going to get paid at least as much as Jacoby Myers, if not a little more than that. And yeah, cause of injury history. I agree with you, Rich, but I'm with you 100%. But the thing is, the guy when he is healthy, if he can stay healthy, which I don't, I have my serious doubts. It's two ACL tears now. The guy is a serious producer. I'm worried about him myself. Board bet under 12. All right, Rich, I'll take you up on that. I'll take you up on that. I'll say he's going to be at least 12. All right, but you're saying under 12, Rich. I'll say, how about you? You too, Dennis? You can be over,
Yeah,
can be
I'll take
12 or
over
over?
12. Yeah, I'll
All
take.
right, so Dennis and I, Rich put it on the board. Dennis and I are taking 12 or over. I'll even say over 12. And you can say, if it is 12 on the nose, Rich will break even. But Dennis and I are taking over 12, and Rich is taking under 12.
I like that.
All right. Ooh, we is right. All right, guys, let's get to the nitty gritty. Why our millions of fans showed up? All right, so players on the move. All right, Dennis, if there's anyone you want to chime in, any thoughts like ramifications or anything like that, feel free to go ahead, man.
Okay.
Okay, so we're going to start off with tight end Mike Gesicki, a 1 year deal with the Patriots, worth up to $9 million. I'll
I like
comment
that.
on that. You like that in terms of like you think it's a good deal or just a match with the Patriots or
I think history shows Patriots two tight end offense is where their bread and butter was.
that
With
is?
him and Hunter Henry, that could be a scary combo.
Yeah. Does Gasecki have a history of injury?
I'm not sure. I mean, George
Yeah.
would be the person to ask about that, but
Yeah, I think he does. Or all I know is that he burned me plenty of times in fantasy football, so I wanted him nowhere near the Giants. I'll tell you that. No, we have our own cases of history injuries littered all over our team anyway. But there was a lot of speculation. I know a lot of people are high on Gesicki. I'm not, just because I haven't really seen the guy in the field. And honestly, listen, it is production is reflected in fantasy football points, and it's not there. So that's why I'm not that high on the guy. I realize he's got skills. I realize that he's had these skills for like 5 years. So I've pretty much moved on from the dude, but the Patriots haven't. They brought him on for $9 million a year. Okay, QB, I like this signing a lot. QB Marcus Mariota signs a 1 year deal with the Eagles. You can't ask for a better backup quarterback than that. I mean, the guy
mhm.
is like, he's an NFL starter. I mean, low end, but he's a starter, and he's started in the past.
Yeah, they wouldn't have
Um,
to change anything if Hertz got out. I feel like he could fit into that offense and do the same thing enough
Absolutely.
to carry the team.
Maybe enough for them to trade Jalen Hurts.
I
What do
don't
you
know
think?
about that, but
Board bet? Board bet?
I know.
No, I wouldn't either. But no, I do think that's a great signing. Smart deal by the Eagles. Howie Roseman, general manager of the century so far.
Oh yeah.
I have to give I have to give his props. Linebacker Devin Bush signs a 1 year deal with Seattle, and I think we covered it last night. Julian Love, say, oh, it's right here. It's okay, right underneath. Safety Julian Love from my New York Giants signs a 2 year deal with Seattle. So they're remaking their defense over there. Devin Bush, I know he disappointed in Pittsburgh, but maybe he'll have like a rejuvenation over in Seattle. I think they're building a they're rebuilding that defense over there. And Julian Love, who I liked a lot, the guy is a good tackler, really high IQ football player, and he's his nickname was Duct Tape for a reason because you could put him at safety, you could put him in the slot. He plays both positions admirably. He's a sure tackler, very high football IQ, and he's available. He does it. He at least he hasn't gotten injured on the Giants, which is remarkable because their players always get injured. So I'm going to miss Julian Love. Really nice signing by Seattle. Congratulations, Seattle. You're going to like him a lot. And linebacker Tay Davis signs with the Falcons, another team that's rebuilding its defense. Uh, Chiefs have signed safety Mike Edwards, and the Vikings signed defensive lineman Dean Lowry. I'm sorry, yeah, the Vikings signed defensive lineman Dean Lowry. The Chiefs have signed linebacker Drew Tranquil, and the Browns have signed tight end Jordan Akins. Dennis, my man, I can't believe Jordan Akins is still out there in the football field. To be honest with
I know. I know. I
you,
think out of all
that's just
these
my feeling.
I think out of all these players that we have on the move, I think Devin Bush is going to be one also to look out for because of Jordan
Hmm.
Brooks's injury. So he's going to be able to
Hmm.
slide in there right away and be productive.
Yeah, yep. I like what Seattle's building over there, man. Kudos to
Hmm.
Pete Carroll. Second shot here. Well, I don't know. That's not the right term, but I guess like new generation of Seahawks under Pete Carroll, and I like it. I like what they're building over. I think these are some smart free agency signings. 1 year for Devin Bush. 1 year.
Hmm.
They got a quality safety, a quality versatile defensive back in Julian Love. 2 year deal. Tell you, man, these free agency signings this year are just great. They're just inexpensive, like 1 year, 2 year deals. They're awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, so moving on to re-signings. And okay, so quarterback Drew Lock returns to Seattle on a 1 year deal. I got no problem with that. Quarterback Cooper Rush back to the Cowboys on a 2 year deal. Did you see the numbers on that at all? I haven't. I've just had a busy day.
I
I didn't have a chance.
I didn't see the numbers on that. Maybe coach
I'm
could put
just
them in the
curious.
chat if he knows.
Yeah, coach, if you're there listening, what was the Cooper Rush deal? I'm going to Google it real quick. Let's see if I can find this. I know I.
One question that did come to my mind was with Seattle re-signing Drew Lock, do they take try to take a quarterback still at 5 if one's there?
Oh man, they got to. I mean, I'm not saying. I mean, that is if there's a quarterback that they like.
Yes.
In my opinion, they have to. What do you think?
Um, yeah, I feel like they have to
I mean, at this
if the
point, I'd
right
have
one is
this
there.
right. I mean, at this point, yeah. Let's say Carroll loved Hendon Hooker, or is it Herndon Hooker? Say he loved Hooker. Um, maybe that didn't sound right. But say he loved Hooker, quarterback out of Tennessee. Um, I mean, yeah. I mean, I wouldn't blame them for doing that at all. But I would certainly, Drew Lock is not going to be the decision maker for me on that. That's for sure. So Cooper Rush has agreed to a 2 year deal worth $5 million. Rush can make up to $6 million on the deal. So
All
basically,
right.
like at most $3 million. That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
And he was obviously a quality backup quarterback. Cool move by the Cowboys. It's a savvy organization. They make good signings all the time. Okay, long snapper. Big news. Big news. Long snapper Joe Cardona resigns with the Patriots. 4 years, $6.3 million. That actually might be one of the biggest signings this free agency in terms of
Yeah,
dollar
it's
value.
probably up there.
Right? 4 years, $6.3 million. Highest paid long snapper in NFL history. $1 million signing bonus, 2.6 million fully guaranteed. Longest tenured Patriot behind Matt Slater. So congratulations to Joe Cardona.
Yep, Navy man.
Lions. Yep, yep. I'll tell you what. Dennis, why don't you read the next one? Dennis is
All
our
right,
in-house Lions fan. Go for it.
all right.
Let the
So
celebration.
Lions,
Let the celebration start.
yeah, Lions re-signed kicker Michael Badgley to a 1-year deal. I think it's good. I mean, he was pretty productive last year, so
Yes, he was. I'll be looking to carry him on my fantasy teams because that Detroit Lions team moves the ball almost a little too well to the
yeah,
point where where feel like kickers weren't really they were putting up too many touchdowns. That's my only complaint, Dennis. So I couldn't really count on Badgley too much because they were putting up too many touchdowns. Um, and Rich Gonzalez is saying they're going to go D line. Let's see. Oh, we got Houday checking in. The fact Chiefs signed Drew Tranquil and Edwards within 20 minutes is crazy.
it was. Yeah,
Hmm.
but I mean, Drew Tranquil sliding in next to Bolton, I think that's a good combo. And then
Yeah,
they lost Thornhill, right? So Mike Edwards
I
can,
wasn't aware. Okay, but Mike Edwards, yeah. So, but yeah, I love Bolton, and Chiefs have done a nice job over the past few years revamping that defense, just like they did with their offensive line. I mean, I wouldn't say it was overnight, and I wouldn't say the defense is like some shutdown defense, but it's got talent, and it's certainly good enough, obviously, to help win a Super Bowl. But I
Mhm.
like the talent that they've added, so I'm with you, Dennis. I'm with you. Okay, so let's move on to restructured. Let's get this in here real quick. Restructures. There's only one to report on for today. Packers restructure cornerback Rasul Douglas. Would they restructure his contract? And then we've got, I don't have retirement. Okay, so retirement. Safety Nasir Adderley retires after 4 years in the league. His nickname is now the Quitter. That's what I say, Dennis. Uh, go ahead. Were you
I
going to
was
say
gonna say,
something?
yeah, he said to be having some head issues, so he
Oh,
said he
okay.
got out
Gotcha.
before it was too late.
Sorry, yeah, I apologize. I was just joking around, just assuming he was just done with football, like moving on to something bigger and better. And I didn't know, you know what, smart move because you definitely want to walk away from the game.
Yeah,
Absolutely. Jaguar kicker Josh Lambo retires after 7 years in the league. We're gonna miss you, Josh Lambo. Dennis, I can't wear my Josh Lambo jersey anymore.
I know.
That's a shame.
It's a
But I
shame.
still that reminds me though, I do have to order my new Danny Dimes jersey. I keep saying
There
I'm
you
not gonna
go.
do it. I'm such a cheapskate though. Um, all right, cuts. Let's get to the cuts category. Let's go. A little news report. Raiders releasing defensive back Jalen Mills saves the team $5 million.
So
But
I was
oh, go ahead.
sorry, I was talking with Coach about this earlier, and he brought up maybe he goes back to Philly and fills that Chauncey Gardner role that he had there.
Who did Chauncey Gardner go with? Has he signed with anyone, or he's
He
just not going
hasn't.
back to the Eagles?
No, he hasn't signed as far as I know. But I mean, Jalen Mills would be a cheaper option if they're
Yeah,
looking to save money.
I don't know. I wouldn't mind him. The Giants. I know that the Giants are. They could always find more money. Go get yourselves Chauncey Gardner, Giants. We need some more help in the secondary there. Um, But okay, so yeah, I know he was originally drafted, but Jalen Mills was originally drafted by the Eagles. So, all
Hmm.
right, but he was cut by the Raiders, saving the team $5 million. The Buccaneers have cut one of my favorite running backs over the past 5 years, Leonard Fournette. Leonard touchdown goal line Fournette has been cut by the Buccaneers, and they cut down another player that I dislike almost as well. I dislike even more than Gasecki, and that is tight end Cameron Brate. Every single year, we've all been like Cameron Brate, Gronkowski's down with an injured. Insert Cameron Brate, and he just gets like -2 yards.
Yep.
So Dennis, hey, listen, I'm just speaking for myself. I'm not speaking for Dennis. It's just for myself. But
No,
I
I
think
mean it's
Cameron Brate,
true. Yeah.
I think Cameron Brate should just retire. I really do. I think he should move on to bigger and better things.
Yeah.
I think he stinks. Uh, this next one here was a surprise. And Dennis and I were discussing it briefly before we came on to do the show. The Bills release wide receiver Isaiah McKenzie. That's surprising.
Yeah. He had a pretty productive season last year.
Yeah, I agree. And I don't think like the Bills aren't exactly. I don't know. What do you think about the Bills receiving talent, Dennis, outside of Stephon Diggs? I mean, I thought, and I think like most people, like Gabe Davis was going to have this monster year after his playoff run, his playoff performance the previous year. It didn't happen. It doesn't mean he can't happen, but it hasn't happened. He's been in the league for a few years now, and obviously Dawson Knox, once he came back from his, unfortunately his brother's death last year, and I think also injuries, like the last quarter of the year, the last half of the year, Dawson Knox was coming along. We know he's a
Mhm.
performer. Um, McKenzie surprised me. I mean, this he's talented, I think,
Yeah,
and
it makes me wonder if um maybe like a Jordan Addison or something falls there, and that's kind of they didn't want two of the same player. So I don't know.
yeah,
And then
yeah,
they had Khalil Shakur. He kind of stepped up towards the end of the year too.
yeah,
So I don't
yeah,
know if they just thought it maybe was too crowded or what, but
yeah. And and Shakur is like a second year. He was a rookie last year, if I
yeah,
recall
I
correctly.
believe so. Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know. McKenzie to me just strikes me as someone like, and I get you, Dennis. It's probably yeah. I'm sure they are going to target wide receiver. I think early in this draft, I would assume they have to. And but still, I don't know. I think you kind of hold on to a player like McKenzie until you have that new player you want in pocket. And yeah, Rich, he agrees. Like they released McKenzie. It's crazy. He's going to have I think quite a few teams pursuing him,
Hmm.
and maybe it'll be another good deal because it's all these deals in free agency this year have been like really good, like manageable 1 2 year deals. So it'd be interesting. McKenzie, I think, could be a little bit of a difference maker for a team. I really do. I
Yeah.
like the dude a lot. And I guess okay, so rumors. I heard a rumor, and this is the only one we have tonight. It's not all that juicy, but the word on the street is that Jonah Williams, offensive tackle on the Bengals, requested a trade, and I surmise he's jealous of Orlando Brown and his new big fat juicy contract. But he's requesting a trade, so they don't have to trade him, but if a team's looking for an offensive tackle, Jonah Williams could be available for the right price. And teams always need offensive tackles. And that's
Yeah.
it. And again, players still out there. OBJ, DeAndre Hopkins, anything happens with them, we will be reporting on that because that is big news. But other than that, Friday, man, we've gone through the mill. Like this has been a busy week, Dennis. It's been busy, man. Dennis has been working furiously updating these documents every single day. We've been doing. Dennis was on the first show. I've had George on a few shows, and Tuesday night, Coach and a few other people did. Covered free agency, and so it's been a whirlwind of a week. And I'm ready to chill out. I'm ready to go to Dunkin' Donuts and get myself a freshly squeezed iced coffee, chill out with the family, and that's it, everybody. But guys, don't forget, hit the like button, subscribe, hit that bell, give us that 5-star Apple review. If you don't, Dennis is gonna be really, really mad at you.
Yep.
And I'm gonna hunt you, and I'm gonna hunt you down. I'm gonna hunt you down. I literally am going to hunt you down. Literally, not figuratively, literally. And Twitter handles again for me and all my compadres here at Toss the Titles. Everyone, that's it. Dennis, any parting words for Friday night for our millions of fans out there right now?
No, I mean, I'm just curious where some of these big names that are still out there are gonna fall. So we'll
Yeah.
just have to see.
Yeah, listen, OBJ, DeAndre Hopkins, and the wide receivers in the Broncos. Yeah, all these names, and I am really curious to see where Isaiah McKenzie goes.
Hmm.
There's maybe there's like a former Bills offensive coordinator who's now a head coach of a team. Maybe he'd want him.
Yeah.
Brian Dable. Maybe he'd want him. We'll see. We can still listen. We've been stocking up on really seriously injured wide receivers on the cheap. We could use an Isaiah McKenzie. We could squeeze him on the roster on the Giants. We could use some. We could use some healthy talent for once. So,
Definitely.
all right, guys. All right, everyone. For me and Dennis, Toss the Titles. We're out here. Peace. We'll catch you soon. Take care, everyone.